Hello, Steve White, Trek 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, the production for Star Trek Starfleet Academy has begun. The actors have arrived on stage. I think it's the Star Trek stage in Canada somewhere, named after the Star Trek shows that were produced there in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And I mean, they're all happy and smiling and that, but a lot of fans didn't want this show to happen. People wanted legacy. People want 24th, 25th century, 23rd century Star Trek stories set in the universe and the times that we're already familiar with, that we want to see just continue on, particularly the 25th century, where Picard season 3 was based and where Legacy should have been taking place. But Kurtzman didn't want to do that. He acted like he didn't have a choice, but then he, greenlit Starfleet Academy and the I think it's going to be set on Riser, the Star Trek office style sitcom where they're on a resort and they're being recorded for a TV show like Parks and Recreation. I just can't. So I mean, I feel bad for the actors because in their mind they're doing a Star Trek show. It's all exciting and they have no idea what they're really doing to Star Trek. But I mean, the main issue with Starfleet Academy, I was always for the show in theory. Because Star Trek it's about exploration and knowledge and learning, and the idea of setting a show in the Academy, so long as they were going out on training cruises and not just all land-based, not all on Earth, I thought it would have been a great idea, and they could have set it in different eras and maybe had the Academy be the consistent and then have every few years change to a different era, and you could do, Pike at the Academy, Kirk at the Academy, Picard at the Academy, or just have it set in the current 25th century, and then you could have a lot of the actors who are still around coming in doing cameos for training cruises and stuff like that. It could have been really interesting, but instead, because Kurtzman is thinking about his merchandising and his copyright and his IP, he set it in the 31st century where Discovery is set, which he owns all the rights to and all the merchandising and monetizing and everything. So he wants to just keep Star Trek there because it keeps it away, really, really undeniably away from the canon Star Trek universe that we had, up until Enterprise. So yeah, it's all about IP. It's all about his investment, and it's not Star Trek. Now, can they write Star Trek stories? Can they tell Star Trek stories? Can they give new audiences? Can they bring them in and can they give them an example of what Star Trek is or should be and inspire them like the original Star Trek inspired people and maybe inspire them to watch Star Trek? It's possible, but they haven't really done that yet with any of the other shows, so I don't have much hopes for this. Now, the other thing about this, people thought maybe it wouldn't happen because the Paramount buyout is such a ongoing disaster, and currently they've had another bid, and my computer doesn't want to switch on and show me the name of the guy. Okay. Edgar Brofman Jr., he put in a bid apparently literally in the last 10 minutes before the 30-day or 45-day period that they had where Skydance made a bid and Paramount had 45 days to mill it over and wait for other offers to be considered. And apparently 10 minutes before the Skydance time period closed, they put in their bid. So is it being considered? There's talk of legal action because you just can't put a bid in 10 minutes before the other, because obviously all the people from Skydance thought it was going through and were making plans and probably spending money and putting resources into transitioning to taking ownership or moving into Paramount or whatever. And then 10 minutes before that time is technically up, in comes another bidder who knew what they were doing. They waited till 10 minutes before. They did that deliberately, allegedly, supposedly. So there was talk that maybe someone coming in new would put everything on hold and pause everything, and that would stop it happening. But Skydance is already in bed with Bad Robot and Secret Hideout, so it didn't look like that was going to happen. But now what happens if Mr. Brofman comes in and actually they accept that bid? Because Sherry is a bit of a wild card, so who knows what's happening. But there was some hope that the show wouldn't happen. There was hope that we'd get Legacy, and then Kurtzman gave us a bunch of rubbish about how, I can't approve anything, I can't greenlight anything, I don't have any choices. But then he gets his other show, the sitcom, up. So he could have done Legacy, just doesn't want to do it because it's a better show, fans want it, and it's made by someone else. Now, they could have just taken, I've forgotten the name of the guy who did the show. They could have taken him out and just done the show and taken it off him, and he could have produced it and gotten the credit for doing it. But we all know it was his show, the other show guy's show. So it seems to be an ego thing. It seems to be a IP copyright thing, and it's all business. And it's not about giving Star Trek fans what they want. It's not about making Star Trek. It's just about making the most out of their investment and their IP, and just trying as many things, trying to get as much of the general audience as they can, trying to get every sort of sector of the general audience interested by doing all these different types of shows, like the throw the spaghetti at the wall approach and all that. It's just, yep. But yeah, apparently, yep, the show is in pre-production and is going ahead. So we'll see how that goes.